My name is Jeff Olson. I'm a metalsmith who specializes in repairing and restoring antiques. For the past few years, I've become increasingly busy restoring dark house spears. I use traditional blacksmithing tools and equipment to make the parts needed for these restorations. It's important to restore these antique spears with the same material that they were made with, as well as the same processes. And many times that involves a forge, an anvil, and a hammer. You can't cheat at it or cut corners. Good enough is not an option. You have to hammer forge the new replacement parts and hand file them to fit. The goal is to be as non-invasive as possible, to repair the item without it looking like it was repaired. Sometimes that can be quite the challenge. Some spears that come into the studio are absolute train wrecks. A blacksmith from a couple hundred years ago would definitely feel at home here in my studio. It's reverse engineering, really. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you do have to study each spear closely. No two are the same. They each have their own characteristic and personality. I have to recreate the part to be repaired in the style of the original maker. The replacement part has to look like it belonged there all along. I know I've done my job when the client can't tell the restored barb or tine from the original. That's a really good feeling. Is what I do stressful? In a previous chapter of my life, I had a job in the Middle East searching vehicles for IEDs, improvised explosives, all day long. So if I'm an adrenaline junkie, spear restoration is my methadone. Working on restoring priceless dark house spears that are preserved as family treasures passed on from generation to generation, where epic catastrophic failure looms at every stage of the restoration. Yes, there's a little bit of pressure there, but I love it. It's a passion. Do I make spears for sale? Well, yes and no. My passion for primitive technology has led me on a journey to forge a dark house fishing spear, just like the old timers did back in the early part of the last century. The spears I make are heavily influenced by the makers of the past. Restoring and repairing spears gives me a deep, intimate look into how the early spear makers created them. Right now, I'm not selling to the public yet. My spears are going out to only family at this point. I want these spears I make to have a balance that pays respect to our Ice Age ancestors and functionality. I'm not in a hurry. I am a perfectionist. I want them to fly true and hold the fish. I want them to be still in use 100 years from now. I want them to be legendary.